It's 7:30 in the East, and it is Wednesday night, December the 3rd, year of our Lord 2025. You're locked in and loaded with the Let's Not Do This podcast. It's a beautiful day in America. I am sweating. I'm running around. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I don't want to see Chris, but I'm here, and
You
you
haven't
all
missed
are
me?
as well. No, not at all. It's been the greatest 3 week stretch of my life, whatever. I don't think I've
Oh,
seen you in
man.
person in 2 months, and that's been even greater. But it's been glorious.
It's the only stretch of your life.
Yeah. Well, you got the rapidly slimming Big O alongside two of America's unwisest men, and you're locked inside. We got a jam-packed, loaded show for you. The news, of course, of the week. We'll give our takes on Lane Kiffin bolting bolting Ole Miss, getting on the plane and going to Baton Rouge to LSU. We got Thursday night football coming up. The Dallas Cowboys invading Detroit, taking on the Lions. And don't look now, but somebody break up the Chicago Bears. They're 9-3. And the number one seed in the National Football Conference. Weird times. And it's also National Signing Day as well. And I swear every time I look at my phone, Virginia Tech somehow, some way got a new recruit. So James Franklin must be making use of those aluminum cans that they've given him after that ass whooping they took the show.
Taking the entire Penn State recruiting class, it seems like. I don't know if they're going to have a team. What happens when the portal opens officially?
The last time I saw the rankings, Penn State's recruiting class was, I kid you not, one spot above Prairie View A&M. I'm not even joking.
When I looked, they were two below McNeese. I think they're at the bottom as far as FBS schools go. I think they're very last.
Yeah, when you're down there in the recruiting rankings with Southland Conference FCS programs and HBCUs, you ain't doing so great. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to just hire somebody that's on staff already. I don't see any other way.
Penn State might look like SMU the year that they reinstated football, where they literally had kids that looked like they were rushing, Phi Kappa Tau out there playing wide receiver. It was not good. Not good in State College. Not good at our records. Don't have those in front of us, but struggling a little bit across the board here as we limp to the finish line. I think I am still pulling up the rear, though. And much like I think, Scotty, in your fantasy football league, I'm pulling up the rear as well. I think I'm in the toilet bowl. I think the loser gets last place this week, don't they?
No, there's a playoff.
Well, there is a playoff, but regular season.
I would have had a shot at the playoff, but just like everything else in that league, the one thing that can happen will happen. The only way that I could have been eliminated from the playoffs is if my brother Kenny and John played each other, and of course that's what's happening this week. So officially eliminated.
Makes me happy. I can lose every game, but as long as you don't make the playoffs, I'll be happy. All right,
I'll beat you in the consolation.
Do you have the records?
Thank you, John.
I don't.
I got them.
Okay.
You want me to show them, or?
Yeah, go ahead and bring those in real quick before we get into our picks here.
Let me zoom in so y'all aren't like, I can't see it. All right, let's see. Share screen.
Hide that Czechoslovakian pornography that's on your page there. Speaking of Czechoslovakia, I know that we have some listeners there in that former country there now, Czechia and Slovakia. So if you want to be like them, make sure to click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.
All right, here we go. So Chris is in first overall by 1.5 games. He's the only one above 500. 61-2. I just cannot catch a break on the pod in NFL. 62-3. I'm in first in college though. Leon creeping up, still not great. 58-64 and 3.
Hey, like Radiohead, I'm a creep. I don't belong here. I'm in last place. I don't belong here, but that's all right. We'll pull ourselves out of the cellar. I still got a little bit further to go here. So, all right. Well,
y'all are both doing good in NFL there, not me.
Yeah, well, let's get into some picks here and talk a little NFL and see what we can do to pull things out this week. These picks brought to you by absolutely no one. Of course, if you want to sponsor these, send an email to info@letsnotdothispodcast.com and help you help us help you help us. All right, starting off with the National Football League. Of course, we always start off with Thursday night football. Amazon Prime Video, 8:15 p.m. tomorrow night. Dallas 6-5-1. Dak Prescott's boys, the suddenly resurgent Dallas Cowboys, head to the Motor City, taking on the Lions. Detroit 7-5. Detroit laying those 3 points, and we're looking at a total of 54 and a half right now. You know what? Chris, I volunteer you as tribute to go first on this one.
All right. So this is the first time I'm looking at any of these numbers.
Attaboy.
It's at Detroit. Yeah, that's right. Dallas is on a heater. I have won on with them for I think the last 2 weeks, betting on them. So for that, I am going to go Detroit -3. They're going to get Gibbs and Goff right this week. Dallas's defense still sucks. So yeah, Detroit -3.
Chris laying the 3 points at home with the Motor City Kitties. Are you hopping in that car with them, Scotty?
No, I'm staying away from a side or a total. Dallas is probably the better team right now, as crazy as that is to say, but I can't trust them. Everybody's saying watch out for Dallas, and whenever people start saying that, they fall on their face. So I could see either way happening. I could see Detroit continuing to struggle and Dallas going in and winning outright, or I could see them just blowing the brakes off the Cowboys 48-6 or something crazy like that. So yeah, anything can happen in this game. I'm going with the player prop like I usually do on these Thursday nights, and I'm going Jared Goff over 250.5 passing yards over on DraftKings. He's hit this in 5 in a row. Cowboys are still last in the league, giving up passing yards. I know their run defense has really improved. So maybe some more throwing. I know Amon-Ra might not play. He's questionable. Looks like he's probably not going to play. But they were without Amon-Ra against the Packers for 90% of that game, and he still went over this number against a better defense. So I can see them needing to throw. This total is 54.5, which is crazy high for an NFL game. So they expect a lot of points, a lot of yards. So I'm just going to keep rolling with Jared Goff to go for over this number 6 weeks in a row. So over 250.5 passing yards.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it. All right. You mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's going to be a big question mark there for Detroit. Of course, if they don't have him, though, then Jameson Williams could potentially have a big day facing against a rookie corner. You got two teams that are two of the better offenses in the league. But then you got two teams that their red zone defenses are two of the worst in the league. What does that tell you? That tells you to take the points. And I know usually these Thursday night games are a little wonky, sometimes with the point standpoint, but I'm going for the total over 54.5 here. Dallas has the number one ranked offense in the league. They're averaging 393 yards a game. 271 of that through the air. The Lions are 30th in yards allowed per passing attempt over the last 3 games. And Detroit does a lot of man coverage, about 44% of the time, with single high safety about 66% of the time. So what does that tell you? That gives an opportunity to take some shots downfield against man coverage. I like George Pickens. I know he's a little nicked up, but Pickens and Lamb going deep against this secondary, I really like that a lot. Listen, whenever Dallas gets expectations, you kind of expect them to crater a little bit. I know Kenny Clark had talked about, this momentum means nothing if they don't keep it up. You mentioned the run defense playing a lot better over this last 3-game stretch with Quinnen Williams. But I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned shootout. Give me the over 54.5 there at Ford Field.
All right.
All right. Moving on over. What was your prop again, Prop King?
Over 250.5 passing yards for Goff. I almost went David Montgomery receiving yards, but they might be keyed in on the running backs. Made a lot of money on that last year. I played it last week for the first time and it hit. So I might play that still. We'll see.
Not bad. Not bad. All right. Switching gears to a little college football. We got a slew of conference championship games coming up on Friday. And of course, near and dear to some people here in the Commonwealth, James Madison, those Dukes, number 25 team in the land in the college football playoff, they could potentially find themselves in the playoff if they win this game and everything shakes down. Mainly Duke beating Virginia. JMU 11-1 on the year. Troy 8-4. Duke's laying 23.5 at Bridgeport Stadium. Total set at 47.5. Friday 7 o'clock on the mothership. Scotty, I'll let you lead the way.
Yeah, give me the Dukes. Go JMU to lay this big number. They're gonna just come out. I mean, they're blowing teams out left and right. They're gonna. I believe they blew Troy out not too long ago, also, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm confusing them with somebody else.
You're mixing it
But
up. They last played in 2023. I want to say it was like the Sun Belt Open.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a Troy game I bet on the show a few weeks ago, and I bet against them and it hit. I'll have to go back and look. But anyways, yeah, JMU needing some style points to make the playoff. If UVA somehow pulls off the miracle and wins the ACC championship, I still think probably but they're UVA. Probably a very slim chance of them getting in the playoff without it. But if they go out and beat Troy by 40, and then the winner of Tulane and North Texas is like an ugly 3-point game, who knows? The playoff committee has no standards. They're just they're going off vibes like I'm doing tonight because I haven't had time to do research. Whatever they say just doesn't make sense. They're just putting in who they feel like they want to put in at that moment. So JMU comes out, wins by 40. Who knows what could happen? And I think they're going to do that. Bob Chesney's might be his last game with JMU, new coach at UCLA, but he's staying the coach, unlike some people. Yeah, JMU is going to come out here. They're going to put their foot on the gas. They're not going to stop. And I think they're going to cover this number.
It seems like the players in Harrisonburg actually like Bob Chesney, unlike some people in Oxford, Mississippi, formerly. Doesn't seem like there was a lot of clamoring for him to stick around, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Before Bob Chesney goes out to the bright lights in Los Angeles, I think he's definitely going to end up leaving town, at least with a Sun Belt championship there, which would be JMU's first FBS conference championship. Of course, the last title for them of any sort was 2021 when they won the FCS championship. Look, JMU absolutely dominates team. Recent demolitions that they've done of Sun Belt opponents: 59 at Coastal, 58 against App State at home, 63 at home against ODU, who beat Troy, by the way, 33-0, and 52 at Texas State. That's 4 games with over 50 points against Sun Belt opponents. They've absolutely run roughshod through that conference. That being said, there's distractions this week. Bob Chesney's handled it well, but he's leaving. Maybe some of these guys are thinking, hey, party's over. I don't know who the next guy is going to be. Maybe I need to go to Indiana and catch up with Signetti, or maybe I need to go to this place or that place. How many guys are thinking, are we really going to make it to the playoffs? And maybe thinking about making a business decision to go somewhere next year. Because that's creeping into their mind, I think I'm going to stay away from JMU covering on this one. I definitely think they're going to hit this total by themselves. But it wouldn't shock me to see Troy, backdoor this thing just because JMU maybe is not fully locked in on this one on Friday night. So give me the over 47.5.
I wish I could take both of y'all's picks and make it officially on the podcast, but I will go with JMU minus 23.5. This is going over. It might go over in the first half. JMU is going to absolutely put belt to ass to this sorry-ass Troy team. Where the fuck is Troy?
Troy's in Alabama. The Troy Trojans, sir.
All right, yeah, they can't read and they fuck their cousins. So, yeah, give me JMU. Running away from it.
Jesus. Troy.
I found the game I was thinking of. It was you bet ODU. No, you bet Troy to cover against ODU, and ODU beat them 33-0. That's the game I was thinking of.
I believe that was a game that Goose Crowder, I think, was coming back, if I remember correctly, for Troy. So, yeah, never bet on Goose. Always stick to Maverick.
No.
Top Gun reference there. Troy, by the way, their defense, their run defense is 96th nationally. They give up 170 yards a game. That's not good against JMU team who can run all over you and control the clock as well. So, yeah, this ain't going to be pretty for long in Harrisonburg.
No.
All right, moving on down the line here. Next up, we got the Conference USA Championship, 7 o'clock Friday night on CBS. Kennesaw State, the Owls, the team that we applied for last year. We still didn't get our rejection letter back.
Yes.
By the way,
Yeah.
Kennesaw State. How do you go from the three of us applying for the job to, I believe I saw somewhere where technically they still have a 0.2% chance of making the playoff if like 18 million things happen. But yeah,
Wow.
playing for a Conference USA championship, heading to Jacksonville, Alabama, not Florida, mind you, taking on the Gamecocks. Jacksonville State 8-4. Kennesaw laying the 2.5, number set at 59.5. Who wants to go first here?
I'll go first. Where's Kennesaw State?
They are in Georgia, I believe, not too far from Atlanta.
Okay, so yeah, they should win just by what state they're in. They can read, they can write. They probably drive too fast. So yeah, give me Kennesaw State minus 2.5.
Kennesaw State minus the 2.5. Okay, Scotty.
I'm going the opposite. Haven't watched much of either of these two teams, although I did watch Jacksonville State a little bit last week because they were my underdog pick. So I made some money on that.
Yeah, let's not talk about the last two underdog parlays, please. Let's just.
Well, two of us went 2-0 on the last two underdog picks. One of us went 0-2. We won't talk about that though. But yeah, give me Jacksonville State. What is Kennesaw doing as a road favorite in a conference championship? They were one of the worst teams in the nation last year. They were the team everybody was playing in college football because they were the worst team. Try to rebuild. I don't know. Jacksonville State at home. They're 4-1 against the spread at home this year. I really don't have much. Just give me Jacksonville State plus the 2.5.
So last time these teams played, just about 20 or so days ago, November 15th, Jacksonville State won 35-26. Key factor in that game, Kennesaw State had 4 turnovers. All of them were interceptions within 10 yards of the end zone. That does not make for a winning recipe of football games. That being said, you throw 4 picks, you lose by 9 against a team that you're going to face now in the conference championship game. That was 61 points scored in that game. The total right now is at 59.5. I am going to go under this 59.5. These two teams literally just saw each other. I think, there's going to be a lot of familiarity in that, of course. The game plans, they know what's going to expect because they literally just saw it. And I think it's hard pressed to throw 4 interceptions again. Obviously, that was a big difference in that game. Those turnovers, especially that deep in the end zone there. In their own territory there. So, yeah, give me the under 59.5. Also, though, Jacksonville State, they are a turnover machine. They have 21 takeaways this season, which is 13th nationally in turnover margin. They're 15th in total takeaways overall, and they have 16 forced turnovers in 8 Conference USA games. So that Jacksonville State defense, maybe if you're riding with them, you got to feel good about. But give me the under 59.5.
Nice picture choice for Jacksonville State, by the way.
Yeah, he looks like he gets banned from the park. I'm not going to lie to you and say I know that quarterback's name, but yeah. But these Gamecocks better than the Gamecocks in Columbia, though.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah. All right, moving on down the line here. The American Athletic Conference. They just want to be called the American now. Friday at 8 o'clock on ABC. What's significant about this game? Well, in the last game, we had 2 first-year coaches squaring off. This game, we got 2 coaches that are bolting for greener pastures. You got the guy, Eric Morris at North Texas heading to Oklahoma State. And then John Summerall from Tulane is going to Florida, right? Yeah, I'll take the reins then on this one and start things off. So this game is interesting. I think turnovers, it's so cliche, but I think turnovers are big in every single game, especially this one. Tulane's got a little bit of a bugaboo with a turnover problem. We've seen Retzlaff turn this ball over, and that's not good when you go against a North Texas team that can move the ball as well as they do. I think it's Misty Maker. I always pronounce this kid's name wrong, the quarterback that took over for Chandler Morris. He puts up 300 yards like nothing. North Texas is 10-2 against the spread this season, and they've covered in 6 straight games. Tulane 5-7 against the spread, and has just covered twice in their last 7 games. And they failed to cover the only time that they were a underdog this season. So when I go and I look at this, I see an opportunity for a North Texas team that's scoring 46 points a game against Tulane that's averaging about 22. Their red zone conversion for North Texas is at 94%, where Tulane gives up a touchdown 84% of the time in the red zone. Give me North Texas to cover this one, maybe a 38-28 kind of game. But the Eagles the Mean Green go ahead and get this win here.
Yeah, sadly I agree with you. So Tulane's probably going to win by 40. North Texas they've been the better team than Tulane lately. I think they've just been blowing everybody out. Tulane only scored 27 points against Charlotte last week. You should be dropping 50 if you're any decent football team on them. North Texas, you mentioned they're 10-2 against the spread. They're 4-1 ATS on the road. I just think they're the better team, even though their quarterback didn't play football in high school.
That's wild.
So Tulane a little bit struggling. North Texas, the better team right now. Give me them to cover the 2.5.
All right, Wave getting covered up at home. Chris, what say you?
I am going to bet with my heart. I hope this is a fucking rock fight. I hope it's 13-10. They both look like shit.
God.
And that way JMU gets in the playoff. Give me the under 66.5.
Under 66.5. Don't hate that. I think weather may come into play a little bit here, if I remember correctly. I think it might be a little bit of precipitation in New Orleans, maybe a little hangover anyway, because you're in New Orleans. But I think there's 54 degrees with potential rain there. They are playing on a turf surface there. Maybe that favors Tulane because they can run the ball a little bit better, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they fare in the rainy conditions there. And that's not just Bourbon Street vomit coming down. That's actual rain.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, could you imagine paying your hard-earned money? Tulane's a good school, private school. Could you imagine paying your hard-earned money for your kid to go to Tulane? Could you just know, like, your son is going to be damn near lifeless every night, laying on Bourbon Street, just vomiting into a gutter, like just every single night. He's going to be Edgar Allan Poe, face down the street every single night. That's where your $80,000 a year is going.
And there's a chance some lab monkeys might get out. Seems to happen all the time for some reason.
Well played.
To keep those guys in their cage.
Yeah, by the way, can we make a rule with that? Like, if there's testing on like lab monkeys, can we keep that to, I don't know, MIT, Harvard, somewhere like that? I don't need Tulane kids tested on monkeys. If they want to count their money and running
it's not just the kids. It's just like the residents work there too.
Yeah,
just normal people.
I just don't trust them. Like, imagine if someone said UNLV had a program with like monkeys and infectious diseases. Do you trust that? It's like Radford. Like, if your doctor went to Radford, are you gonna let them cut into you? No.
No comment.
Sorry, Radford kids. If y'all could read, you would understand, but you can't. So that's why you went there. All right, moving down the line here. Next one. There we go. Final one. Speaking of UNLV, Mountain West Championship game Friday night on the Smurf turf there in Boise. Broncos 8-4. The Rebels, Anthony Colandrea, Dan Mullen, and in the UNLV Rebels 10-2 on the year. Boise laying the 4.5. Total set at 58.5. This number was 4, and that half a point came in literally right before the show there on DraftKings, where these lines came from. But Boise laying the 4.5 at home on the Smurf turf. Who wants to take this one first?
I'll take it because I have not seen either one of these teams this year. They're in Boise. Probably going to snow. Give me Boise minus 4.5. That's it.
It's not going to snow, Chris, but it's going
to be cold as fuck.
It is going to be rainy. It's 43 degrees with a 76%
Ugh.
chance of rain. That rain a little bit earlier in the day, though, but foggy conditions expected around kickoff time in that game. So could look like the Moors of Scotland.
Gross.
Yeah. What say you,
Yeah.
Scotty?
I am actually going UNLV plus. Let me make sure this line is still correct. Yeah, there's a 5.5, 5.5 on the score bet.
Ooh.
Newly, the
Yeah.
new score bet app. So I'm taking that.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. Boise State. It's been they haven't been all that great. What do you say?
He goes, is that a real thing? Yes, Chris. They're Canadian. We talked about it on here. They replaced the ESPN bet.
Oh, well, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Scotty. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, Boise State's quarterback might be coming back. I don't know if that's such a good thing for a conference championship game. It's probably going to be a little rusty. Calandria has been Calandria has been really good in some parts, and then not so great in others. But they're 10-2. I think he shows up and at least keeps it close and covers this number. I was looking at the over, but I bet a couple UNLV overs early in the season and got a couple bad beats, so got PTSD from that staying away. So just give me UNLV plus the 5.5.
Okay. Going with the Rebs. These two teams met at that very stadium, Albertson Stadium, there in Boise, back on October 18th. Broncos ran away with it 56-31. It was a close game at the half, 28-24, and it was all Boise as they reeled off 28 consecutive points. You mentioned the quarterback coming back in that game. Maddox Madsen threw for 3 touchdown passes, and now he's coming back and getting his starting job back this week. These two teams have faced off 3 times in championship games, and Boise State's 3-0 versus UNLV in all these games. In fact, they've pretty much owned the series all time. They're 12-3 against UNLV. They have 10 straight wins over UNLV. The last time UNLV beat Boise State, who is the president of these United States of America?
Give me a year.
Jimmy Carter. I don't know.
It was Jimmy Carter.
Oh, shit.
1976 was the last time Boise State lost to UNLV. But this is the 5th time these two teams have played in 25 months. So they know each other quite well. Boise won 44-20 in 23. They won 21-7 in 24. And then, of course, that 56-31 route back in 2025 earlier this year. So those are the last 3 Mountain West meetings there, but they played a bunch of times in the last 25 months. So listen, they're better than them. They're in their head. Jimmy Carter was the president the last time it happened. The line opened at Boise -3. It went to 3.5 and then 4. You got Madsen coming back. I just have a lot of concerns about BYU playing this team, especially on the road there. And then, of course, in adverse weather conditions as well. And it's something about that Smurf turf. Boise, they play magical when they're at home. Give me Boise State to cover at home against the Running Rebels.
All right. So I'm going against both of y'all in a college game. That bodes well for me. And you say getting in their head. They're not getting in Calandria's head. There's not too much going on up there. He's just out there winging it. He's been a little more controlled in a couple games I watched, but you can't like Jackson Dart. Like, oh, he's not going to run as much. He's getting lit up like right away. So,
I feel like if you took Calandria, Jackson Dart, and Cam Scadaboo and went out on the town, you would have a hell of a night. You would have a hell of a night. All 3 put together, there ain't a lot of brain cells rolling around, but there would be a lot of fun to hang out with.
I would hate
That's how
every
you get
second of
arrested.
that.
Someone's definitely going to jail. I don't know who, but someone's going to jail. Probably me when that night's over, but yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, so that'll wrap up the picks for this week. And of course, Saturday morning we're right back here on the on the Doing Lines podcast as we talk conference championship games, including Virginia taking on Duke and Georgia and Alabama. We'll have plays for all that, and of course the National Football League as well. So a lot of good stuff. We've got a couple stories we want to get to before we get out of here. Also, make sure to join us here tomorrow. Join me at 7 o'clock for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix preview there. Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, 3 drivers, 1 champion. These guys last race of the season for F1 Sunday morning, 8 o'clock there in Abu Dhabi. So I will break that down and have my picks for that. So make sure to join me on Getting Loose with Leon tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the East for that.
So
Go
what
on.
do they win if they're a champ? And they get a trophy?
Yeah, like what do you you get a trophy and the
So
notoriety?
you could
What do you
say
win when you're in the league? You win everything.
you could say 3 drivers, 1 cup. That's what you could have said.
That is
Wait, that's what I should have said.
in
I
Abu
enjoy
Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi, sir, that might wind up with a lengthy prison sentence for making that joke there. I'm just going to go ahead and
Also,
put that one out there.
This background, it's an AI thing, right?
Yeah, it's an AI sports
Is it a
bar,
real
sir.
picture? Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you type in? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, look at that. It's a
When
sports bar.
when everything's covered up, it looks like Kickback Jacks.
Well,
It
you know,
does.
it's A, this place is cleaner. B, the people look better than that place. No one's preaching crazy religious stuff in the corner. So, yeah, it's a much better bar. So,
Yeah, they look like they have TVs on the channel they're supposed to.
what sports bar doesn't have a TV on Fox News? Okay, I need to know what's going on there. Oh,
No
Let's not
comment.
do this.
yeah, let's not do this. Well, something that did get done today, Virginia Tech, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I love a good troll
It
job.
was
And
1,000%.
of course, James Franklin fired by the Pennsylvania State University. Some people say Pennsylvania State Penitentiary for football. Signing day today, and he's been reeling them in Blacksburg. And Crumble Cookie got involved. Penn State was trying to woo Kalani Satake from BYU. They were not able to pry the coach out of Provo. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Penn State couldn't pry a coach away from BYU. That's the state of Nittany Lion football. And apparently the CEO of Crumble Cookie got involved with some money there to keep Kalani Satake in Provo. So what does Virginia Tech and James Franklin do for their signing day ceremony? They want to have a little dessert, little crumble cookie there in Blacksburg, which, by the way, hand up to God, didn't know Blacksburg had a crumble cookie. Didn't know Blacksburg had indoor plumbing. Hand up to God, didn't know.
Well, you also didn't know that we were going to be able to get a good coach. So it's a lot of things you don't know.
They didn't know they were going to get that ass whooping in Charlottesville Saturday either. I love the amount of shit that
Enjoy it now.
that Kyron Drones talked before that game.
What
And
an
just
idiot.
he just got his teeth kicked in. Oh, that was
Yeah.
that was great.
Well,
Talk
He's
about
gone,
a quarterback with no brain
we're already
cells.
better.
Jesus.
You're preaching to the choir. I'm glad he's gone. But yeah, enjoy it now because while Tech is getting 4 stars left and right, guess who has the worst recruiting class in the ACC right now?
We
California
do it through the
Bears.
portal, baby. We do it through the portal.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, we'll see there. Virginia, of course, taking on Duke in Charlotte on Saturday. A lot of Virginia fans, a lot of orange and blue going to be in Charlotte. Cavalier basketball team taking on, I believe, Dayton as well Saturday afternoon in Charlotte at the Spectrum Center there. So a big day
Why?
for.
Is there another tournament?
I can't remember. I don't know. Why does Virginia do anything? Why are they playing NC State in Brazil in football? Who knows?
Oh, Jesus. Don't
Because they
get
know
started
this
on
will.
that.
They know this will never happen again. At least not for another 30 years.
Hey,
Oh yeah, there is one stat I saw. I forgot to bring up in the JMU game. The last time there was a conference championship with a 23 or higher point spread, it was Clemson. They were 29-point favorites against UVA. And I think they covered. If I'm not
2019.
mistaken.
If I remember correctly, I believe Clemson scored 55 in that game, and I believe NC State held them to
62.
62. That's right. And then NC State, I believe, held them to 55 when they got their ass
No.
kicked by them in 2019. So
Uh,
yeah,
Before we move on, I just sent you guys an Instagram post that is relating
that's
to
good.
college football.
Did
If you
you-
want to take a quick look at that to our
Did
group
you-
chat.
Why are you on
Text that?
Instagram?
I am clicking on it and just
They're
getting
sandwiched in
Instagram smoke
between-
shows.
Montana State and Akron. Penn State is in between them two.
Wow.
We don't know when this snapshot was taken, so it might be even worse now. Yeah, because I don't even think they have 3 4 stars. I think we took another one from them.
And I just got another thing from Chris in the first ever AP moment. A voter has successfully ranked one team twice. A voter apparently this
Oh,
week in the AP poll ranked Connecticut at 23, and then they went and doubled down and made UConn 24.
I
it's
just
We
like
thought that
really,
was funny and apropos.
we really need to do an audit of who gets these votes. Like
Yes.
really, like
We should have a vote as a collective.
yeah, should.
really. I
Maybe
Yeah.
should
some
have a
people.
vote.
I can guarantee
What do you
you
mean
that we
you?
wouldn't rank Connecticut and then UConn.
Well,
I
let's
should have
see.
a
If
vote.
anybody should have a vote, well, let's not. Why do we pick the person with the best college record?
Well, that's gambling. That's not. That's different than ranking the
What do you mean?
teams. It's a different process.
Gamblers pay more attention than a lot of the voters. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
Clearly.
well, I'll give you that. I mean, yeah. Also, a lot of the elderly voters are in bed before they see any of the West Coast teams. Always, you could get the East
Right.
Coast bias. Of course, UConn on the East Coast, but still.
But
But
also, Joe Lenardi in his little way too early bracketology had Duke as a 1 and a 2 seed on his latest bracketology.
hey,
Joe's sundowning.
hey,
Ugh.
every since you got to start paying those interns. The quality of those graphics and stuff goes way down. Good.
Yeah,
What was
for
it?
sure.
Good work ain't cheap, and cheap work ain't good. So moving on here. Speaking of someone who's not cheap, Lane Kiffin. Though he apparently doesn't know the value of his contract. He says doesn't know what he's making there. That's bullshit. Doesn't know
Bullshit.
what he made it at Ole Miss either. That's bullshit. Um, we haven't had a chance to talk about this since the news broke of him going to LSU. Chris, I know you are firmly in an anti-Lane Kiffin camp, but what do you guys think about just the situation in general? Is he going to be successful there? How did this whole thing get handled? Scotty, I'll start with you.
Um, I mean, I blame the NCAA more than anything. The way they have their timeline set up, it's bullshit. Like he had to leave. I mean, he didn't have to, but I mean, it's LSU. We know who Lane Kiffin is. He doesn't know how to leave places. He's never going to be one to leave somewhere correctly. That's just not who he is he a good person? Maybe not, but I don't blame him for leaving. Um, who knows exactly what went down? It sounds like he is given a lot of bullshit as far as the players wanting him to stay and coach and whatnot. But I don't know what really happened. But the NCAA is to blame for most of this. Put a timeline, push the hiring process back, push the portal back, all that. Something, or this is going to keep happening. And also I don't fault Ole Miss at all. I know some other teams are letting their coaches stay on until the playoff, or at least for the conference championships. But it's a different situation here. LSU is a direct competition. They're going to be taking a lot of their players probably. So I get not letting him stay. But I don't know. I don't hate Lane Kiffin as much as a lot of other people do, and obviously as much as Chris does, as you're going to see here in a second, I'm sure. I mean, that's just, yeah, it is who he is. He's not a great person, but I mean, I don't know. I think he was dragging it out longer because he knew he was going to get blowback, and he was trying to figure out maybe how to do it the correct way. He just doesn't know how because that's who he is. But yeah, I'm not mad at him. He went, and LSU's a better job at Ole Miss, no matter how good Ole Miss is right now. I think he's going to succeed there. He's going to have an offense, which LSU didn't really have this year, surprisingly. And now he's got the money to go get a defense. So I think he can win a championship there. Maybe not next year, but I think he's going to be in contention here pretty soon. And yeah, I think he's going to do well. And whatever. It was great to talk about, great to read about all the tweets and everything that was happening. A few years from now, it's not going to matter if he's in contention for championships. So.
A few years from now, all those calls to sports talk radio and the lunatics that Lane allegedly said were trying to run him off the road. Though apparently I did see someone mention that he had security and like a police escort and stuff to the airport, so he wasn't getting run off the road. So that was bullshit. Apparently, I don't know, but it's going to make for a great 30 for 30 one day. My thing that I was pissed at him for was leaving the dog Juice Kiffin behind. Of course, we all know Juice. He had
So
a Twitter account and the Instagram and everything, but apparently Juice is coming now. Juice apparently has tweeted that he cannot wait to join his dad, brother, and sister in Baton Rouge. But apparently he didn't own the dog. The
yeah,
kennel
he
owned the
didn't.
dog. It was like a rental
It
dog.
wasn't his. Yeah, it wasn't his dog.
But apparently, I guess he's taking possession of the dog now. I don't know what's happening there. But you mentioned Scotty. You got players talking about, hey, this wasn't how it went down. We didn't ask you to stay and coach the game. Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, apparently he's coming back to coach the game. But Lane couldn't coach the game, but he's coming back to coaching the playoff. That okay doesn't make sense. And then you got the sorority girls all over Ole Miss. Of course, we saw the story about him doing yoga. You got sorority girls now, like posting things that he was sliding into the DMs and stuff, and like trying to run games. So who knows? Maybe Joey Freshwater hadn't retired just yet. Who knows what was going on? But Lane certainly appears to be selling some snake oil. You know what? I don't give a fuck. Win football games, you can do what you want. I don't care. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I don't care what if he's stepping. I don't know what relationship status he's got. If he's stepping out on it, I don't care. Get me a 5-star, and that's what he's doing right now. He had 4 receivers this morning committed to LSU, pen and paper before 7:30 a.m. That man knows how to recruit.
Chris.
I don't hate Lane Kiffin. I hate what Leon tried to do and paint him as this person who has changed his life around. And
I read
he's
the
such a good
articles.
guy, and he's going to stay at Ole Miss because he loves Ole Miss. He's a hoe, just like that reporter said. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, especially when Leon thinks a guy is a good guy. We know he's a shit human being. That's the kind of guy that Leon gravitates to. Those are his heroes.
Never said he was a good guy.
Yeah.
I'll pay him to coach my football team.
Pieces of shit. You were talking about how he got sober and how he's turned his life around, how he's doing yoga, and this time it's different because of his dad. All full of shit. Everybody saw through it except for you and everybody else who watches that news channel you mentioned earlier. He's just a fucking. I don't hate him, but he's a piece of shit. Like, two things can be correct. He's just a guy who's good at coaching football, but he's not that good at coaching football, or he would have won a national title by now.
Hey, look at where he's coached. I mean, SC walked into a tough spot. He wasn't ready for that job. But other college
Tennessee,
jobs,
Ole Miss.
he was there for 1 year.
He had
in Tennessee for 1 year.
Well, whose fault is that?
Hey, he took a better job. He left for a better job. You can't blame him for that.
I think he should just lean into being an asshole, and then I think people would like him a lot better.
Don't be something you're not. Don't pretend.
Yeah. Everything he was saying the whole time after he took the job was just fake. He's bringing up, he even brought up Tennessee. He's like, I hated the way I left. No, you didn't. We're out of there. And that's fine. We are, all of us, if we got a better job offer, we're going to take it.
We all know who you are. There's no point in trying to manage your.
Just lean into
You got the fucking job. You don't have to play PR anymore.
Yeah, just be who you are. And then he's bringing up, I talked to Nick Saban. He keeps bringing up Saban.
I prayed a lot.
Like, trying to take some of the pressure off. Yeah. Oh, no, they're the ones that told me to go. Like, no, you were going no matter what. You got the better job. You probably got more money. That's why you went. That's fine. That's what we all do.
Man, it's so sleazy. I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker, man. Oh, he's reformed.
Well, I told you.
I blame Marty Smith.
I told you LSU a while ago, and then I told you he was dragging this out, so it made it seem like it was a tough decision, and everything he said after that kind of went right into that. It was such a tough. No, it's not.
I blame
you
Marty
told
Smith.
Your assistants if they didn't get on the plane, they're done. That's not somebody that's it was a tough decision. No.
Marty Smith, if he says it, I believe it, man. And he told me that he was reformed, that he was changed. He was a man of God. He was walking. The dog was a prop. The praying was a prop. It was all bullshit. He's sliding into co-ed DMs. I love it, Lane. Go ahead and be Larry Eustace. Go to a LSU sorority house and lick some co-ed faces. Be Larry
Get a
Eustachian.
get a fake pet tiger this time. That'd be cool.
Oh, dude, can you imagine? I want the photo op of Juice Kiffin and Mike the Tiger. I need that photo op. Hopefully, Juice doesn't get eaten by Mike, but I want that photo op so bad.
It's not his dog. He don't care.
That's very true. Get another one from the kennel, like, all right, whatever. Man, it is a messy situation there. But hey, if he wins football games, it doesn't fucking matter. And Pete Golding, by the way, I know Bomani Jones took some flack for his take on Pete Golding, mainly saying he wasn't going to be a good football coach because of the way he looked. I will say, though, he is one of the stupidest looking people I've ever met. He just looks like he's from Mississippi, and he went to Delta State, I believe. So yeah, he's a Mississippi guy through and through. But he just looks like his IQ is not that high. But he will probably delete some Bud Heavies with you.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of him now.
Yeah,
he looks like never mind. That's offensive.
Way to show some judgment and pull up there. All right, last thing before we get out of here, the Chicago Football Bears, 9-3 on the season, the number 1 seed in the NFC East. Of course, we saw them go into Philadelphia and get a win against the dysfunctional Eagles there on Black Friday. Caleb Williams rounding into his own. I hand up to God, I was wrong about Caleb Williams. I thought the painted nails and all that stuff, he was going to be a bust, but he's looking damn good right now. And they head to Green Bay on Sunday, 4:25, taking on the Packers. I know I have this on my card for Sunday. We'll talk about that on Saturday's show. But are you guys buying or selling Chicago 9-3? Are they a legit Super Bowl contender?
No, fuck no. Absolutely
not. I'm buying them
Williams
as a playoff team, not a Super Bowl contender.
Well, yeah, they're a playoff team because they've won 9 games to this point, not because they're that good. So, yeah, they'll get in the playoffs. Ben Johnson's new system there is working for now. It's not going to last. Caleb Williams still not very good against good defenses. They're catching on a lot of teams at the right time. Yeah, so let them have their fun now. They'll get in the playoffs. They'll lose the first game. And then they'll struggle next year.
If they can get, a 1 seed or a 2 seed and, pretty much had themselves locked up throughout the playoffs, you don't want to have to go to Chicago in January to play a football game. I mean, that's a big advantage there. And you look at Philadelphia, who they just beat. Philly can't figure out who they are. Their defense isn't good. They can't run the football that well. They got chemistry issues. Dallas is surging, but, we'll see what happens on Thursday night. Are they for real? Green Bay has looked lackluster at times, but it seems like they're starting to round into form a little bit there, especially defensively. I mean, we've seen Detroit kind of regress a little bit. Baker Mayfield is dinged up in Tampa Bay. They just keep losing pieces left to right. Guys are in and out of the lineup. Carolina is somehow 7-6. They're in the mix. But then you got the Rams, who were all systems go until they ran into the mighty Panthers last week. And Seattle is 9-3. And don't forget San Francisco at 9-4. So it's a jumbled up NFC race there. But I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender, but it wouldn't shock me if this team continues to play the way they do. I mean, the defense has played well. The receivers are coming along. They can run the ball well. You see that Ben Johnson, that 2-back system like they did in Detroit. You can see that now with Monangai and with Swift. They got a couple of good tight ends, Kmet and Colston Loveland. And Caleb Williams is making the throws he's supposed to. It wouldn't shock me if the team winds up in the NFC Championship game. It wouldn't shock me if they winds up hosting an NFC Championship game. I don't think they'll get to the Super Bowl, but this is a team that's on the up and up.
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson is an offensive genius. He is making Caleb Williams not have to do all the things that people were expecting him to do as the number 1 pick. He's managing the game well. Their defense is playing good. They're running the ball crazy right now. They're live for an upset in the playoffs for sure.
All right.
His quarterback rating was 56.9, not QBR. His quarterback rating was 56.9 last week.
Did they win the game?
Relax. Yeah, they won the game, and not because of him.
Okay. I didn't say
it was
17 for 36.
Didn't say it was because of him.
It's all that matters, though. They got the dub. It's like
they got a running game, but
you're not going to
rely on that all the time.
Yeah, you're not going to. But hey, cold weather though, as the playoffs go on, what travels well in the playoffs? Run the football, Don't turn the ball over. Play good defense. And like I said, if they can get home playoff games, you do not want to have to go to a Chicago or Green Bay, any of those outdoor cold weather places. You don't want to have to go there in the playoffs. So,
But Caleb Williams has to play there too. He's not a cold weather quarterback. He doesn't play like that.
Here we go.
He's going to fold.
You're in Chicago. You're going to have to get used to it at some point and play there. What better time than here? What better time than now? Didn't Rage Against the Machine say that? I guess what better place to hear? What better time than now? I believe. Speaking of what better place to hear? What better time than now? Raccoon. Chris, I know you had a pet raccoon once, didn't you?
Nice.
I did not have a
making national news, by the way.
Yeah.
All over now.
Of course, this show based out of
TMZ
Richmond, Virginia, and just north of us in the lovely town of Ashland, home to Randolph-Macon University. We don't know if this raccoon was pledging or not, but apparently there was a raccoon that broke into the ABC store there in Ashland, and apparently they found him passed out in the bathroom, drunk, after laying waste to the store for the most part. If you guys can see this, this is the damage that he caused to the actual store itself in the aisles there.
They released some video of him.
I didn't see the video.
They got video surveillance. Nothing crazy, but there's one where he jumps on top of a box and tries to get on the shelf and he falls down. And then another one, he's just kind of walking around. Nothing crazy. But they said he broke in, he got into the ceiling, and he fell and he knocked out a bunch of security cameras as he fell. Like I had to break in, the greatest break in of all time.
Wow.
Ocean's 1.
I love that, he had the wherewithal to make it to the bathroom.
Good on him.
Unlike Chris, who vomited all over your car, Scotty, he had the wherewithal to make it to the bathroom.
There's no bathroom in a car.
Also, we hear about humans getting alcohol poisoning. Hey, pull over, buddy. I got a yak. I don't know. That came out. I don't know.
We've all either done this or been there when somebody else did this, got too drunk, went to the bathroom, got sick, passed out in the bathroom face down.
Yeah. I've
just look at him.
He is many a nights sleeping on the bathroom floor.
I've never done that, but I've seen somebody do it.
He is just dunzo right here, just sprawled out too, man. They apparently took him to the Hanover County Animal Shelter, and apparently that was his detox. He dried out a little bit before they released him back out into the wild. How is he not dead? He's little, a raccoon. And then if you consume booze, which they're not used to, their body probably can't process. How is he not dead from alcohol poisoning?
They eat literal trash. I mean, they're basically like us with McDonald's and Taco Bell. So
that's true.
We can handle our liquor.
I wish I could be in his brain when he woke up in a jail cell.
Oh my God!
What happened last night?
Can you imagine the story when he gets back to his little raccoon buddies? It's it's like when you got some drunken hick farmer in Nebraska saying he got abducted by UFOs. He's like, I woke up in a cell, I had all this magical liquor, and I went to sleep, and they're gonna think he's crazy. The raccoon might kill him.
Yeah, what if he craves alcohol now? He's gonna go back. Same story.
A life of debauchery, and you're in the college.
Except for he's gonna bring his friends next time.
Exactly. Next thing you know, you're gonna hear about a roving band of raccoons rolling down Fraternity Row at Randolph-Macon, finishing off tall boys of Natty Light that have been left in the woods.
Hopefully, they are able to steal somebody's phone and learn how to live stream.
Oh God, I would love it. Can you imagine raccoon selfies, just drunk at a raccoon party? I almost said coon party.
Man,
that would not have been good.
Easily on.
I think you can
might be racist.
Well, no, you can't.
That might be racist.
Oh,
I hope they get caught in the act next time, because somebody's gonna pull out a flashlight or something and hopefully be recording, and they're all just gonna freeze and act like they're not there.
Here's what I want to know: why did the animal people let him go back into the woods? Clearly, he should be like a mascot. They should have like adopted him and have him like in the animal shelter, like hanging out, like greeting all the dogs that are strays and stuff. Like, hey, what's up, man? You want some booze? Like, like he could be like the staff mascot,
PETA.
I
That's
don't know.
why.
PETA, oh yeah, PETA would not be happy about that. But hey, he did it to himself. I mean, look at him. Look, kids, if you're watching the show, which you should not be watching, don't drink, or you can wind up like this raccoon on the floor of a toilet by the ABC store.
I've seen people are already. It's becoming a thing online. People are recreating this and doing it themselves, just face first on the bathroom floor. So that's a thing now. I don't know what they're calling it. That could be
Chris
sketchy.
calls that-
But
Chris calls that Tuesday night.
What is this? Can you not do that? All right.
No.
Chris calls that Tuesday night at this bar right here in the background, which looks like a much better Kickback Jacks. I'm sure he's been face down on the floor in the bathroom there, praying to the porcelain god.
Kickback James.
Only at home.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this evening. Make sure to join us back here. Me back here tomorrow, 7:00 for Getting Loose with Leon, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix F1 season finale. As we'll get ready for that. Who will come out with the championship, Max, Lando, or Oscar? I'll give you my pick for that. And I got a couple of interesting props that I'm workshopping right now for that race too. And then Saturday morning.
Is Oscar the scary looking one?
They're all scary looking, Scotty. He's the Aussie,
So
he's probably got a criminal
5'4".
background. Then Saturday morning back here at 9 a.m. for doing lines as we get you ready for Conference Championship Saturday in college football. And was it week 14, I think, of the National Football League? So we'll have all that for you Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on doing lines. All right, time to get out of here. NC State's taking on Auburn in about 45 minutes, and I got to go see what awful concoction I've made in the dinner
UVA,
in the
Texas.
kitchen that's probably been burning
15.
while I've been making this.
Auburn, Texas.
Caden Shedrick's revenge. There we go.
I don't think
All
he's
right.
playing there anymore.
See ya. Oh, well, go with
Peace.
God, my friend. Peace.